I mean, you told me about this in part one, that
Yeah.
it was going to get hot,
Yeah.
but it gets hot.
Okay,
Oh.
good.
Like, seriously steamy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
never
last
going to
time.
look at a bathtub in the same light ever again.
Okay.
I was in the hotel last night, I looked at the bathtub, I was like,
I'm missing someone.
dearest gentle reader, welcome back to the Bridgerton podcast. I'm Lady Alison Hammond, your host for the final event of the season. And what an event it's been so far. I mean, we've met cast members and creators, we've giggled, we've gossed, and we've grieved. And today's final show looks set to be just as thrilling as the season 4 finale of Bridgerton, except with fewer cheeky moments in the bathtub. I hardly need to say this now, but remember, this show is jam-packed full of spoilers. So if you haven't already watched all 8 episodes of season 4 of Bridgerton on Netflix, stop searching for your favourite shoe clips and catch up now. On today's show, I am honoured to welcome the behind-the-scenes Queen of Bridgerton, executive producer Shonda Rhimes. I just hope I can hold it together. But first, the beating heart of season 4 has to be the love story between Benedict and Sophie. I sat down once again with Luke Thompson and Yerin Ha, who play the star-crossed lovers, to talk about the romance that started with a glove and ended with true love. I've missed you both.
Yeah,
missed
me
you.
too.
Welcome back.
Yes,
Welcome
thank you.
back. Should we just get into it?
Oh, we
Let's
need
do
to.
it.
We
Well,
need
let's
to.
talk about the big reveal.
Yeah.
Discovering that Sophie is the woman in silver.
I know.
That
Oh my
necklace.
I
being
love that
found.
moment.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's such a beautiful detail that it's like there have been so many details so far, but it's that one thing that it's like that makes the penny drop. It's great. It's a great moment.
I just still don't get why Sophie just didn't tell him ages ago. Do you know what I mean? Why do you think it is?
What a shame.
But people keep people keep things back. You know, you have to. It's hard, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
I
hard
needed
to
that
really go there.
anticipation, though. I needed it.
Yeah.
The thing is, Benedict was gonna leave it all.
Yeah.
Before he even found out, he was ready to go to the
I know.
country.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he was living in reality or was he in his own little fairy tale?
I think he probably was a little bit in his fairy tale. I think he moves very slowly towards marrying Sophie, I think, but just because of his own worries and insecurities. I think, there's something beautiful about what he does, the gesture of the cottage and all of that. It's lovely. But then there is still that bit where you're like, okay, so I'm going to be sectioned off. It's still kind of sectioning off his life.
Yeah.
And so I think it's so not in his nature, I think, what's happening to him.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's great to watch a character like that fall in love.
His
really.
mum brings him back to reality, doesn't
Yeah.
she? She's like, well,
it's
you're not
always
going to be able
mums,
to do
isn't it?
this and you're not going to be able to come back.
Yeah.
And you have to stay there.
Yeah.
We
And
won't see you very
Anthony.
often. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, reality
Yeah.
of
that's
this
right.
love.
Yeah.
It is.
The
It is, it's
proposal
love.
dance, though, Yerin,
Oh.
was just stunning. What was it like filming those lovely emotional scenes?
I'll tell you, it was really hot.
Was it? Why was it so hot?
in the ballroom.
Yeah, it was.
Lots of people, lots of
Yes.
body heat rising.
Yeah, well, it's tricky, isn't it? There's
It
so many
was.
people there.
Yeah, it is a bit of a dance, like literally and metaphorically. But I just remember, like, the dance is so beautiful. Jack Murphy is an amazing choreographer.
And it's lovely that it starts and ends with a dance.
Yeah, yeah, full circle moment.
Can you remember the dance?
No. I'm sure-
maybe.
you know what? It goes somewhere in your memory. I
you
remember
reckon?
for Hyacinth's ball, recently I had to recreate the ball that I danced with Flo. And if you stop your mind from getting in the way, it just
flows back.
magically flows back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They
maybe
say
I feel
that.
like if we actually stood up
We could
right
do
now
it.
for you, we could do it, but I don't think we should.
And action.
Yeah.
It's not
Go.
great podcast content, is it?
We
Just-
can't set the cameras,
Yeah.
babe. All
No,
the cameras
no.
are set. Everyone's having a heart attack.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's such a lovely moment, though. And if you think about the first dance to the last dance and how much has changed,
Yeah.
the emotion, everything it's so different and so beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lovely. I think it's a really good how Bridgerton always manages to make dances properly part of the story. And like a dance is sort of how they first met. And, you know, not to go too metaphorical, they sort of dance around each other. It is kind of like a thing. They're sort of like constantly dancing around each other. And their first encounter is this little
So did
dance
you,
lesson.
when you did that first dance, did you actually know each other very well?
The first dance? No,
No,
not really.
not really.
Not very well.
It was
Yeah.
early on in the shoot. So,
So
you
think
know.
about the last dance, Yerin.
Yeah.
the emotional weight of everything.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was
at the end?
beautiful. I mean, I remember like doing that really tricky step.
What was it called? The
fleckle.
fleckle.
The fleckle.
Have you heard about this?
Oh, no.
It's a fleckle.
dance term.
It crops up on Strictly Come Dancing, I think, sometimes.
Is it quite difficult?
Yeah, it is quite difficult.
Yeah.
But
I
we
mean,
got there.
We
in the
got
end.
there. It's like you're sort of constantly spinning.
But
Yeah.
I think because in the beginning, Sophie doesn't really know how to dance. And then by the end, like maybe she's practiced with Alfie or something.
Yeah.
Like I do think it's a really beautiful emotional journey of being able to be free and let go and take the pressure off herself. And yeah, I think it's it's an extension of an emotion, I think,
Yeah.
for them.
And it's lovely that you sort of go back to where you start.
Yeah.
You know, like in a strange kind of way that you go through, they've gone through this proper like emotional roller coaster together. And then they sort of meet again at the end, having done all that beautiful circle.
You talk about this emotional roller coaster. And do you think their relationship is stronger because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this great, like, I think it's the boxer who says, like, you know, how do you expect her to negotiate? Something about negotiating each other's feelings, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and it is, that's it. And it's hard and it's exposing and but you do end up sort of stronger by the end.
Yeah.
But you do have to go through moments where you're like, I'm going to lose it all.
Can we talk about the steamy scenes?
Yeah, of course we can.
Because, I mean, you told me about this in part one, that
Yeah.
it was going to get hot.
Yeah.
But it gets hot.
Okay,
Oh.
good.
Like, seriously steamy.
Yeah.
Very spicy. I'm not gonna lie, I loved it.
Yeah? You had a
I'm
nice
never
time?
gonna look at a bathtub in the same light ever again. No. No, I can't.
Okay.
I was in the hotel last night, I looked at the bathtub, I was like,
I'm missing someone.
yeah.
Try being in it for a day.
Oh, tell me. Do they not have any heaters?
Pruny
Stop
central.
it.
Yeah. You know the petals?
Yeah.
That they sprinkled in
wilted.
it. By
It's
the end,
beautiful.
it was beautiful. Of course it does. But you know, by the end, after a day, it was like, you know, like cereal. Like when you leave cereal and milk, it looked a bit like
Are
that.
you serious?
just
Did they not put
decomposing
any
petals.
new petals on?
Yeah, they did.
They
s-
did,
sprinkled
but
a few
then,
new
you
ones
know,
in.
you're in the bathtub there, kind of naked, and then you have Jed and Neil, these middle-aged men who I love, but they're pouring this milky thing and then they just mix it
Stirring
while
it
you're
in.
in the tub.
Yeah.
Did they heat it up for you?
It
They
was pretty
did.
warm, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was. You did pour hot water over my head. Yeah. It was scalding hot. But, you know, we made it look sexy, I think.
And is it really not sexy? There are a lot of people there.
No, as in like they
Was it a
with-
closed
no,
set?
Yeah,
It's
what's
a closed
great is
set,
with
yeah.
sex scenes they do a thing called closed set, which is they sort of bring only people who absolutely need to be in the room. And
Yeah. I'd be like,
So-
yeah, I need to be here.
See you in the
I
corner.
don't know why I didn't get the call.
I know.
And do you know what I wanted to talk about as well? The conversation between Benedict and Sophie with regards to the fact that Benedict likes men
Yeah,
and
yeah,
women.
yeah.
I thought that was quite important. Did you have to speak to Jess about that? And what was the conversation?
I'm not really a huge fan of getting involved in that. That feels above my, as in like a big fan as an actor of just.
Tell me what to do.
Yeah, I am. I quite like being a puppet. That's kind of the fun of the game, is that you're not sure what's going to come out and you just do as you're told and you just let the character take you where it takes you. But no, I mean, I think it's a nice moment, I think, because it's about honesty, I
Yeah.
think. And you know that feeling when you're just sort of like, oh, do I have to be honest? Do I have to be honest? Okay, yeah, I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what human relationships, particularly like when a couple like falling in love, that's what it's based on, and you have to relentlessly do that. And I think again, it's one of those moments where Benedict could pick the route of just being like, oh, I'll just
under the carpet.
Yeah, well, not even under the carpet so much as just not necessarily have to bring it up
Yeah.
or something. But I think it's a really lovely moment, and it's quite striking. I think when I watch the show, because I think him as a character, he says it, and I do really believe when he says, I refuse to be at all ashamed of it. And I think what's really refreshing about him as a character is that he hasn't had a very sort of angsty relationship
Yeah.
with his sexuality. Hey, there's absolutely time and place for those kind of stories, and we've had a lot of those kind of stories in terms of male sexuality, but it's nice that it's something that doesn't feel like his sexuality really defines his identity in that sort of a way, and I think that's really refreshing.
Do you think Sophie's surprised by that?
I think, yeah. I
surprised?
mean, I think what's so lovely about Sophie seeing Benedict is that she really does just accept him for who he is.
She fell in love with him.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
him in his entirety. And I think it doesn't faze her because it's him, and she just sees him for who he is, and whatever his past is, it's, you know, we all have our secrets and that, and she does too. So I think she
And she just accepts him for who he is.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Talking about emotional, when you was in the courthouse, how hard was that? And the jail. It was a
Yeah.
lot, babes.
It was a
It's a
lot.
lot for one episode.
It's a
isn't it?
lot.
Yeah, they really cram it
Felt
in.
like Jean Valjean.
You start singing.
Stole a loaf of bread, stole a pair of shoe clips.
Turned into a whole new story.
Yeah, exactly. It was super emotional. It was like a night shoot as well, and
Was it cold?
it was cold.
Because it looked really freezing.
It was really freezing.
It's intense.
It was. And like Katie's so good.
Mm.
Like when they call action, she just switches it on and she just has this menacing stare.
Cold
Yeah,
stare,
cold
yeah, she's
stare. And she's like brilliant. So it just felt like I was reacting to her. It
She
didn't
was
feel
so
like
good,
work.
and she? I can't
Yeah,
wait to
she's-
speak to her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Can't wait.
fantastic.
She's the best.
What is in store for your relationship now? Because obviously we get the wedding, which is just
Yeah.
beautiful. So simple outside in the courtyard.
Yeah.
But all the families there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, there's a little detail. I wear a little pin in my necktie, and it has a tiny kite painted. on it.
Yeah.
Stop.
Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
I'm going to go back and watch it.
I,
didn't
well,
notice
I
that.
hope it. Yeah, I hope you can see it. It's really, really tiny, but that's. I mean, it's amazing
small
costume
detail.
design, isn't it?
That's so
Just in terms of their
lovely.
story, because it feels it really sort of sums them up in a way.
Oh, thank you for that little nugget
Yeah.
right at the end.
know.
See what you
Easter
did
egg.
there? Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you both. This has been such a wonderful season, and I'm so happy it's gone so well. It's just been the best.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you
really
so
appreciate
much.
that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make us your bride.
Oh, I love chatting to Luke and Yarin, and I adored watching their relationship grow. What a transformation both characters have actually gone through. Benedict stopped behaving like a rake, and Sophie never has to scrub another grubby pan for the rest of her life. Now for a truly special guest. Nobody knows Bridgerton like her because she's responsible for bringing the show to the screen. It's TV making legend Shonda Rhimes. It felt like I was meeting royalty.
The most eligible suitor of the season. Seduced by a maid. Is it true?
No, it is not true. She did not have to seduce him because he loves her.
Hello, Shonda. What an absolute honour to have you on the podcast. Thanks for joining remotely. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Shonda, every season of Bridgerton is a full-on feast. But season 4 felt very different in the best way possible. What felt new and special for you this time round?
Oh my gosh, I think I love upstairs, downstairs feeling of everything. And I loved being with Sophie. So we really get to know her in her journey too.
It's so beautiful, the upstairs, downstairs, and so big when you go downstairs. We've never seen that before. It was absolutely beautiful.
I thought it was a fascinating way to sort of reveal how these households are run. And I feel like our writer, Jess Brownell, just really made the most of it. We always start the first season by rereading the book that the season is based on. And then Jess and I get together and we talk about what we both see as sort of the iconic moments, what we want the audience to get out of this season. You know, every season we approach very differently. And then we also just start to talk about how to shape it, how to bring to life what the stories that are in the book. So it becomes this very fun act of getting to sit in a book that you really enjoy reading and then figuring out how to bring it to life. And Jess always comes with great ideas.
Shonda, we got a big juicy dose of forbidden romance with Benedict and Sophie, two people who shouldn't be together but absolutely can't stay apart. What excited you about telling a love story with such huge obstacles?
I think this is one of the most beloved books of the Bridgerton series for Julia Quinn. And so we wanted to really respect that. What I thought was super exciting was exploring the upstairs, downstairs world of it all and getting to see sort of the back of the house that we don't normally see when we're with the Bridgerton family.
So
But also the
interesting.
relationship has a real, very clear obstacle for them and a big one. You know, they have society to deal with. And that becomes a much larger issue. And I thought that their chemistry through that made it very exciting.
I absolutely love the chemistry, especially the lake scene. That was everything. The first kiss, it was just delicious.
The lake scene's one of my favorites. I think it came out so great. They have such good chemistry together, and they're fun to watch. You just want to watch them.
Oh, I love that part. Now, Queen Charlotte's influence still shines through beautifully. Is there a thread from Queen Charlotte you especially loved carrying through to season 4?
Oh, there's so much I feel like we've learned about Queen Charlotte. And we had such fun with the idea that her friendship with Lady Danbury, which was really informed by the Queen Charlotte prequel, is really front and center in this season. We've built like how they became friends and how important she is. And now in this season, you see Lady Danbury trying to take a little bit of a step back and what that's meaning or not meaning for her. So I love that. I love seeing their friendship.
The Queen is not having any of it, is she? Absolutely
No.
none of it. It's so good. There's a moment where Lady Danbury says this massive speech about how she needs to go back home. And it's quite a long speech, and you just get a simple no from the Queen. It's just
Yeah.
delicious. You've done everything in TV. In fact, you're even known as post-production royalty. Are you still very hands-on in the edit?
I am. It's one of my favorite parts of the writing process. We have these amazing, very talented editors who do the cuts. We have great directors who step in, and my producing director, Tom Verica, always takes a pass. And then I really love getting in there because it's a chance to shape the story, based on performances versus, you write a script and it's great, but then it sort of goes into the production machine and it comes out and it's always very different based on the actors, the performances, the nuances. And so that gives you a chance to sort of reshape the narrative based on these wonderful performances that you see.
Oh, it's
So that's
wonderful.
always an exciting part for me.
And what's so interesting, because I was speaking to Jess and she said when it was at the writing stage, you was like, I want to write that I am the tea moment, and you got involved in that moment. And for me, that's one of the most iconic lines ever. Did you just see that moment and thought, this is me, this is what I need to do?
I really enjoy those moments. Those moments we always come up with these things that sort of resonate with an audience. And that was a moment that I felt really good about. There are also always moments in the script process where I'll say, that will never make it on TV, or that moment is going to be what they use for part of the season, the series trailer when they're trying to show everybody what the season's going to be. Because you can feel what those moments are going to be.
Yeah,
You can
you
feel
feel the
the energy
beats.
in some of them. Yeah.
And where does that come from? Is that just experience, or do you just get it?
I think, this part of the work has always been one of my favorite parts, even from the very beginning in my earliest show. So to me, I feel like it's something, I have this instinct for the rhythm of a show. I think I have a lot of um, interest in how that feels, like the music of how a show feels. And I've been doing it, Grey's is 22 seasons old, so I've been doing it for quite a long time.
In season 4, we get love, we get passion, grief, secrets. Yeah, it basically gave us everything. How do you and the team blend all those emotions so seamlessly?
I mean, the writers are just so good with that sort of thing. They're very good at sort of layering in the emotions and the personality. But we also have, we have these amazing actors
Yeah.
and these amazing storylines for them to play. And the actors are what really help give everything the nuances that you need. I mean, seeing Sophie's family and how she's being treated by them and like understanding the ways of our world were really lovely to see.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sometimes when you see it, are you even surprised?
I was going to say there are some moments in the season that really surprised me just by how they were played out or the power at which they were played,
Yeah.
or the humor with which they're played. It's really lovely. Like that to me is part of the beautiful discovery of shooting a show versus just the writing of a show.
And those finale cliffhangers had us all gasping. Which twist sparked the most debate in the writer's room for you?
So for me, like the Be My Mistress moment
Oh,
was
yes.
such a big deal because it had to come out right. It had to sound right. That scene needed to be sufficiently sexy and juicy, but you also needed to understand why she pulls back. So that was not an easy nuance to get,
Yeah,
but when it came together, it was done so beautifully.
it was so
And I
good.
love finding out that her family has moved in down the street.
Oh, my God, literally next door. It's so much.
Yeah,
so
literally
good.
next door.
Yeah, I like that mistress moment because she's like, yes, I'm a maid, but you know what? I've got standards as well. And I love that about her.
I did too. I love the idea that she wasn't going to settle.
Yeah.
or let herself be treated as less than. She knows her worth, which
She
is
knows
nice.
her worth, man. Now, the new Lady Whistledown reveal is absolutely unbelievable. How will this twist shake up the Bridgerton world moving forward?
Oh, wow. I think that twist is going to be huge for us moving forward. I mean, this Lady Whistledown has a very different tone, a very different attitude, and a very different relationship with the truth. So I think we're going to see a lot of interesting things coming out of
So
that.
good. Could it be the same person? That's my theory. Could it still be Penelope?
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh,
Well, I'm not going to give any spoilers.
no.
But
I know you
yeah,
wouldn't.
but no, I mean, I think you're going to enjoy wondering who it is. Like the mystery of it is part of what makes it so exciting.
I have to say that your characters make us women feel truly seen. What do you hope women take away from this season?
I think women should take away the idea that you don't have to settle, that you get to define who you are. You don't let anybody else do so. And that we all deserve, a real working, helpful partnership versus just being somebody's mistress.
You are an absolute genius. You are. Thank you for bringing us this Bridgerton season. I've loved every minute. I can't wait for season 5 now.
We're working on season 5 at this
Well,
point.
you are the boss. You're the big girl. Do you need a new character? Because I know someone not too far away. Oh, Shonda, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me on our podcast today. I have adored this season so much. It's been brilliant. Thank you again.
Take care.
And this is the end of the show and the end of the season. Thanks to my guests today, Luke Thompson, Yerin Ha, and the Queen, Shonda Rhimes. And a huge thanks to everyone who joined me on the show to guide us around the magical, heartbreaking, joyous and saucy world of Bridgerton. Meeting everyone has honestly made me feel like I'm one of the Bridgerton family. I'm even thinking of investing in a tin bath in my bedroom. One thing I am definitely going to do is rewatch seasons 1 through to 4 of Bridgerton. And you can too, because they're all available now, only on Netflix.
It is the best thing to happen all season.
Until we meet again, this is Lady Alison Hammond wishing you, dearest gentle reader, a fond goodbye. Ta-ra, Babs.